till the end of time. Didn't even start on this show, to be honest with you. Really started on an entirely different show that needs to make a comeback. Kid, I'm looking at you. Anyway, are we doing it live? I think we're doing it live. Let's do it live. It's your boy Pat, the designer.
Would you come back and do that show?
Oh, absolutely. Come on now. That was great content.
We're doing it next week.
That's how spontaneous things happen on this show. It's just like, oh, should we do that? Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's do it. It is your boy, as always, Pat the designer, back at it again, joined by the Brody Bro, Patty Casanova. Y'all know him as the man P.Kidd. Kid, how you feeling today, my boy?
Man, we running it back. Yeah, I love it. I'm in love with everything we got going on right now. It's like it feels weird. It's not, nothing has really happened, but it feels good to kind of root for some good Chicago teams right now. Gotta throw the kind in there.
You know what I'm saying? It is a weird thing. Why don't you give them the rundown of what we're going to be talking about today, my boy?
Man, listen, it's a couple things. As always, for one, shout out to the Breeze Nation, all those who tuned in with us. Listen, we're going to jump right into a couple things that's already hit the net. We're going to talk about A-Rob, see what's going on with him, talk about how they franchise tag my mans, just to really just pay him $120, $20,000 less. Anyway, we'll also talk about Russ and how much is too much for your boy Russ. Clearly, we know we need a QB, so we're going to be diving into that. And as always, we are a Bulls. We see Red Nation, so we're gonna sit there and jump into a nice matchup, Bulls versus Philly, which is going to be our game of the week. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And so, man, listen. Let's go ahead and let's touch up on this A-Rob deal, man. What you feel about it? How you feel about it? I felt like it was expected.
That matchup might not be as nice as far as the Bulls. It might not be as nice anymore with the news that Embiid and Simmons are out. But it was going to be shaping up to be a real nice matchup.
Do we need to change the game of the week? Because I know there's another. They actually got a tough.
That's not our game of the week. I definitely tweaked when I sent that message. I just realized I said that. Okay. Our game of the week is definitely going to be Miami. Our game of the week is definitely going to be Miami. So
no information knows I didn't do it, but okay.
Hey, look, 110% on me. I'll hold that one. But yeah, man, let's jump into this. Listen, A-Rob got the money. We got John in the chat. We got SPM in the chat. What's going on, family? Hey, if y'all in here, man, by the way, we gotta make sure we're doing that as well. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly.
I can't
want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. The only reason I did that weekly right there, Kid, is because they yell at me when I don't now. So apparently AD has sparked something off that we got to keep around. But Kid, what'd you think of the A-Rob deal? Do you think that that's something that is going to benefit the Bears in the long run? Let's jump into that.
Well, one, I know it benefits us because we need in our pursuit of a QB, we actually need to have someone to throw to. And so, right. Whether we land a Russ or Deshaun and, bet the farm on that, even if we have to stick with a Nick Foles potentially, or even, another, bridge QB, they have to have targets. A decent, a middle of the road QB with decent targets can make the playoffs.
Right.
We've seen it happen. Mitch made the playoffs, right?
To be real with you, his only target really was Allen Robinson. So
Mitch made the playoffs, and in my opinion, Nagy didn't even really use his targets correctly because I still feel like we had some really good tight ends that we didn't even use, as in Cole Kmet. What was the statistic? Bottom line, the boy was balling. He caught like more than 60% of his targets when thrown to. So, it's like, hey, listen, give that man the ball. But anyway, that's a whole nother story right there. But that just goes to show you that if you have some good receivers out there, you have some people who can get open, stuff like that, it gives your QB a fighting chance, especially when we're also trying to, and for some odd reason, we keep getting praised for it. Our O-line is still kind of developing. It's coming along. So you need to have some people. Hey, listen, when people kept saying, yo, he likes the O-line, I was like, what O-line?
Is that the narrative that we're going with just because Russell Wilson said it? That's what we're going with?
Bro, it blew me. I was like, he likes the O-line. I was like, what O-line?
Improving O-line.
I was like, hey, listen, if he wants to be all positive and speak it into existence, I'm all for it, Russ. If it's gonna get you here, yeah, I like that O line too, despite the fact that it's worse than yours. But okay, listen, I like it too.
Absolutely.
But no, I like the fact that they did it. The fact that they kept him also, allows us to be in contention with any other potential QB that's on the move. The QB situation has shaken up across the league in a lot of different ways, in a really, really weird way. So, I mean, you got to have some people to talk to throw to. So, I love it. I love it.
I think to me the biggest thing with A-Rob being re-signed here is that if nothing else, it gives you the flexibility to make a lot of different moves for your future, which is scary to me because it's a future that should Ryan Pace be here? Should Matt Nagy be here? All right. Is this the future path that we want to go down? That's yet to be seen, but it's all going to be based on, I'll tell you, this is going to be based on the fact, can they get the quarterback position fixed? And so, like you said, you have A-Rob to throw to, but if you're not able to get that position fixed this year, or you feel like we've got some nice pieces on this team already that can get the ball thrown to them, that can be an option in this league, in Darnell Mooney, in Cole Kmet, I mean, we can still throw Anthony Miller in there, I guess. He didn't show me nearly enough last year for me to be excited about him. But it's one of those things that, to me, okay, these are the moves that we're making. If anything else, worst case scenario, you trade A-Rob included in a package that gets you a higher pick that maybe you can go get your franchise guy.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of what it comes down to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Listen, we are in an interesting scenario because we need to keep as many pieces as possible. And if we're going to make a move for a franchise QB, we need to be able to have as many attractive pieces to trade for that franchise QB.
Right.
So, bringing him along, I know that the franchise tag is something that we can actually move. So I've heard, and hey, listen, it might be something they can do it. Now, will it potentially get Russ? That's a tricky scenario because I keep looking at that cap over there and the cap hit that they'd take. How they work that out. Listen, that's why they got smarter people than us behind the helm of that, because I really would love to see how they work out that cap space. Because other than that, there's no way he gets here.
I think to me the interesting thing, and kind of getting into our question too, is what are you willing to take on? What L's? Essentially, it's all L's for the Bears, except for the fact that you might be able to get Russell Wilson in there, right? So what L's are you willing to take on? What L's are you willing to get hit with? That, okay, what is too much to give up for Russell Wilson? Mm-hmm. What is it at the end of the day, at the bottom line, when you look at the trade value, when you look at what this team is running out there with, what is too much to give up for Russell Wilson? Because, or is there, for you guys in the chat, is there too much to give up for Wilson? Is there too much to give up for Wilson? Because to me, I think that
wait. You can't ask that question without putting out your proposed trade package, which I immediately shot down. I
proposed, to me, it's more of a question, or it's more of a statement of probably what they're going to ask for. It's not what I'm hoping for, but it's probably what we're going to see.
You gotta let the nation know.
So I said, let me pull it up. Hold on. Give me a second. We're doing it live.
Tell it to them like you told it to me, because I was like, heck no.
So let me see if I can find it here in the chat. Here it is. So essentially, this is what I figure the Bears are going to have to give up. And this is just me saying, okay, they're going to try and get help on both sides of the ball. They're going to maximize what they can get for Russell Wilson. You already know that they're not going to just go out there and give you, here it is. That's a nice deal you gave us there, right? The Bears get Russ. That's it. The Bears get Russ.
That's it.
Seattle asks for Khalil Mack, Cody Whitehair, because they're going to need help on both sides of the ball. your 2021 first round pick, 2021 second round pick, 2022 first round pick, 2022 third round pick, and your 2023 first.
Heck no.
Now listen.
I'm gonna give up my defense and my entire future.
But here's the thing. You have to ask yourself, what are you willing to give up money for? What are you willing to give up money for? Because Khalil Mack's a big chunk. Now he's a big factor on your defense, but he's a big chunk of your salary cap. So if Khalil Mack is a big chunk of your salary cap, when you're sitting there looking at, okay, who can I give up? What move should I make? Who should I get out of here? You want to get rid of your big money players, a Khalil Mack, a Eddie Jackson. You want to try and hold on to your younger guys that are still on their rookie contracts. You want to hold on to a Roquan Smith. You want to hold on to a Jalen Johnson. And so when you're talking about what's too much to go get, yeah, you're giving up Khalil Mack. That seems huge. The pick, I think, is the picks to me isn't the problem with anybody. I think at this point, everybody's just like, yo, draft picks is draft picks. Ryan Pace ain't hit a first rounder yet. Go get a franchise quarterback because clearly you're not going to find one. I think at this point, kind of everybody, even with Deshaun, is just like, you got to give up 5 first rounders for him? Ugh, that's a lot. Go get him. Go get him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems, but to me, you have to, if you're going to do anything in this trade, clear up your own cap space, clear up your own cap money, and then see if you can get somebody else in there to make that happen for you on the offensive end, because we've invested so much into this defense, and you haven't invested that same amount of money, that same amount of that same amount of need into your offense. And you're wondering why you're sitting here. Now, the loss of Cody Whitehair to me, it's a big loss, but you know they're going to ask for a lineman back. I would rather see Cody Whitehair go than James Daniel.
You know what? I listen, I hear you. I wouldn't give that much for Russ because I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't. At this rate, we see what Tom Brady's doing, but let's be honest, that's the anomaly. I really don't think you're going to see a whole lot.
Is it though?
Hey, look at Big Ben. Big Ben younger.
But I think more so along the lines of just athletes that have been able to take care of their body. I mean, listen, if anything with Russ, if you're going to make that point, which listen, not a bad point to make. Not saying it's not a valid point. Baki in the lie, what's good, my boy? Not saying it's not a valid point. It's definitely a lot, but if you're going to make that point, you more so have to look at the fact that you're giving it up for a guy that's been sacked a ton in his career. And is it too much to give up for somebody that potentially their body could break down? But even with how much Russ was hit last season, he still broke Seattle's touchdown record. He still threw for a crazy amount of yards. DK Metcalf ends up breaking the receiving record. So, I mean, he's a guy that definitely puts you in a position you want to be in.
This is not to take away from what he's done. Because Russ, to me, is a stud. I've liked this game. I think he gets more hate just because of his personal life than what he does on the field. Because on the field and in between those lines, on the gridiron, that dude is a monster. I don't care what nobody says, right? So the whole Sierra thing, he gets a lot of flack for that, and that whole future thing. He gets we hate him for a whole different reason than his ability on the actual field. And with that being said, listen, Deshaun Watson is, in my opinion, just as good and 7 years younger.
But here's the difference to me.
7 years younger, faster.
Well, here's the thing. My favorite part about this, we're having a conversation about guys that literally have not been put on the trade block. But
absolutely, I know, right?
I keep saying that to myself. I'm like, yo, we are having serious, deep conversations. We getting Photoshop pictures of guys in Bears jerseys that have yet to be put on the block.
Now, for Seattle's purpose, no, he's good as gone.
But
that whole way, he's good as gone. Now, Texans is willing to play hardball, and you know what? From the organizational standpoint, I kind of dig what they said. It's like, yeah, we ain't answering the phone. I kind of dig that from obviously I hate it for the player, but you know, it's just kind of cool that it was like, yeah, you could call, but don't expect to get answered.
I respect that so much.
Yeah, I do. I really do. But Seattle they're playing ball. They're fielding those calls. And so if they're going to field those calls and Russ is out there saying he's unhappy and he and Pete Carroll don't see eye to eye, and Pete is now actually the man of that organization, been doing some deep diving in there, and it's not rubbing him the right way, Pete Carroll's going to do what Pete Carroll wants to do. And so in his opinion, he made Russ and he's going to move Russ out. That's kind of.
Is Pete Carroll taking a Belichickian approach to this? And it's wild that Bill Belichick has won so much. We've made him what would that be? Is that a verb? That's a verb.
Whatever it is.
We made Belichick a verb, essentially. Is he taking listen, Russ don't want to be here. He's 32, still a lot of talent in them legs, but he's 32. He's 32. Let's get him out of here. Let's get a haul back.
I gotta address this one time. Listen, YBS. Check this out. We wasn't gonna pay Dak that money. Dak wasn't worth that money. Dallas overpaid that man so much, but guess what? You go ahead, ride that out to your 8-8 season, because that's exactly what you about to do. Anyway, back to what we was talking about. I just have to get real petty on that one, because I don't know why you kept mentioning it. Like, bruh,
I'm trying to figure out if he just like is he trying to flex on us because he got that? Now listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't fully believe the Bears would have paid Dak whatever money he wanted, because Dak
paid him 160 over 4.
But look, Dak looked like a franchise quarterback at the end of the day. Whether he is or whether he's not, Dak looks like a franchise quarterback when he goes out there. When he goes out there, he put up a lot of yards. He hit people in their hands. Now down the stretches, he going, man, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't even
$41 million a year.
Hey, look. I ain't even mentioning Dak today because Dak ain't going nowhere. He down there in Dallas, YBS.
I knew he wasn't gonna leave.
Hey, look, fam. We all knew he wasn't going to leave. I'm sitting here arguing with Muzz. I'm like, he's not leaving. Bro, he'd be crazy not to take that. Why?
Jerry Jones, my hand doesn't get cramps right checks. That's my favorite lie, bro.
Matty the lie was good, my boy. No, but to me, when you're talking about going out and getting one of these quarterbacks. Now, you said Deshaun Watson. You said 7 years younger. Here's the difference in what you're paying for. How many? Let's be real. How many above average quarterbacks are there that are young that we saw in the playoffs this season? I'm thinking Josh Allen. Thinking I don't know where you stand on Lamar. I'd say Lamar is pretty above average. I like Lamar. I think he's pretty above average. I would say
for all Lamar brings to the table, yeah. But if you
I'd say he's above average. Yeah. Talking Pat Mahomes, we're talking who else? We got Breeze was in there, man. I mean,
you said young. Breeze ain't young by a long shot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Technically, well, what are we counting Tannehill as? Tannehill's 32.
The same age as Russ.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so to me, it's. But the difference with that is. He's 7 years younger, but does that mean he's a Super Bowl quarterback? Which is the difference. You're paying for Russell Wilson coming in and already having that Super Bowl pedigree and trying to get your team to that next level. What you got for me?
Really back, dog. Come on, listen. Did you look at the stats my man did? First of all, who is Deshaun Watson's target?
A bag of balls and a donut.
Okay. A bag of balls and a donut, for some odd reason, got him 33 touchdowns and nearly 5,000 yards.
Absolutely.
Listen, a bag of balls and a donut.
And I'm not, I don't want y'all to think I'm dissing Will Fuller, but Will Fuller got hurt. So that's why I said a bag of balls and a donut.
Russ's target has the highlight of the year. Hawking down another.
Steven came at me. He was like, hold on. He got the highlight of the year because Tyreek Hill dropped the ball in the Super Bowl, dog. Come on now. Hey, look, Pat Mahomes still technically got the highlight of the year, and it was a drop pass.
Oh, okay. I give you that.
Hey, and I put DK above Deshaun's play.
Oh, listen. DK is a monster. All I'm saying is this. When you can throw to DK Metcalf, yeah, you should have 4,000 yards. All I'm saying is that dude looks like a monster amongst men.
Which is still, to me, is anybody else confused on why he wants out? Like, did somebody try to smash Sierra on the team? That's really the question we need to ask. Did somebody at some point try to knock down Sierra on the team? Because you want to come, I mean, honestly, all that's left is Vegas and here. Off of his 4 teams. Which I think that list will expand, seeing that now Breeze is probably coming back and Dak got re-signed, right? So I look at this and I'm like, all right, so you want to leave DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, a defense that was moving in the right direction with some big names on it. You now have a very, who's supposed to be touted as the best offensive mind now is your offensive coordinator. And you got Pete Carroll that at any moment in the room could just whip his shirt off and just start flexing on you. I'm confused. And you want to come to Matt Nagy? Let's stop there. I could have kept going. You want to come to Matt Nagy?
You know what? I think the only thing about it is the same thing with, obviously not to the same degree, but from hearing about it, different reports, other platforms. Let's be honest, other insiders who give us the scoops and stuff like that. It was just a lack of respect he got in the locker room and when it came to his coaches, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
Like, to hear about all of that and it's just really weird. And then someone brought in the chat just wanted to go to a big market. And you know what? Despite our record, despite our history, Chicago is still one of the destinations that you will want to make a name in. If you can make a name in Chicago, you have made it. And so it's really hard.
And if you come here, he's no disrespect, all praise. He's God. Oh, if he comes here without playing a game, he's God.
He's the man. He's the man. He touches down, O'Hare, Midway, doesn't matter where it is. Guess what?
There's a holy light coming in over the plane.
I think, and the interesting thing is, if you're the star QB of a football team in a big market, no matter what else is going on, unless you're, in LA or, playing against a great basketball, competing against a great basketball team with an all-star grade on it, that's your city. Think about it. That's your city. If you really think about it, and when you think of some of these big markets, you think of two people: the star QB and the star guard or whoever it is on that NBA team. You don't really think about nothing else.
Yeah, I would go as far to say, and correct me if you think I'm wrong. Even when the Bulls were at their best, we heard about Jay Cutler more. When the Bulls were at their best, when they were a Eastern Conference Finals team competing for a championship every single season, winning the Eastern Conference, best record in the NBA. We heard about Jay Cutler every single year. That's how big the Chicago Bears are in this city.
I have to agree. I mean, obviously, if it wasn't for the fact that Derrick Rose was a hometown kid, it wouldn't have hit the same.
It wouldn't have even been nearly as big if it wasn't for D Rose being from Chicago.
That's the only reason it was big. He's from the town and stuff like that. But outside of that, it was all. And even still, we heard a lot about Jay.
Yeah,
a lot. As soon as we signed him, I remember they was comparing him to John Elway and said he had a better arm and all that stuff. And
dog,
it was wild.
When I tell you, there were people literally screaming on the radio. Carmen and Yurko, one of my favorite shows. Shout out to Carmen and Yurko on ESPN 1000. You could hear Yurko throwing papers in the air, screaming, "Oh my God, the Bears got a franchise quarterback. We got Jay Cutler. I can't believe, fam." He was God before he got here. Now he turned into Smoking Jay at some point when he got here. But when you sit there and watch him game in and game out, you're like, okay, well, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's bring it back.
Hey, listen, if it wasn't for the last couple seasons where it looked like he quit, I mean, a lot of Chicagoans was like, yeah, he get hits. He's getting hit way too much. And we need to do something about it. Like, hey, that's all we cared about. Yeah, he's throwing INTs, but God, look how many times he's running. Like, and the NFL wasn't a mobile NFL at the time.
I think that absolutely plays into what Russ wanted to leave. I mean, but it's the NFL to me. Like, I think if you're good, like, think about that, bro. What else goes on? Where is New England?
It's on the East Coast.
That's all you know.
It's in Boston. Is it Boston? It's up there.
Look, but you weren't confident in that answer.
Hey, when you said it, I was like, "Good Lord, where is New England?"
That's what I'm saying, though. If you're that kind of level, if you're that kind of good, it does not matter where you're at. So to me, the whole thing of he doesn't feel appreciated, he doesn't feel. I would say it's more that than anything, but kind of getting back to what we were talking about, coming here, if he comes here, and y'all let us know in the chat, what's your limit? What's your limit? Because to me, the deal I laid out there, other than Cody Whitehair would be the one that would suck for me the most. Because to me, yes, you're losing Khalil Mack on the other side, but we've seen top 15 defenses make the Super Bowl because they had a top 10 offense.
Yep.
So what's your limit for what you would offer for Russell Wilson?
More than one player outside of Mac, just because I know it works contractually. I'm a numbers fan, so like I drill these things down. Like, how the heck could they really make this work and eliminate the cap hit and stuff like that? So I'm always big on that, because a lot of the stuff as fans that we look at, we're like, oh yeah, let's go get them. It's like, you got to make the money work. If the money doesn't work and you don't get creative on the money side, we're just sitting there really, grasping at straws. This actually has potential, but it has to include Mac or a contract of that. So it has to include that for it to work. And so for me, Mac in those picks you named would be cool. I would do that.
Whitehair's too much for you?
And the reason I say that is because, one, we all agree that if we're going to have Ryan Pace ain't really did well has done well the outside of every round but the first. So
yeah, he's got does Ryan Pace, who's a second round hit for Pace? A second round hit.
He has a couple second rounders, he has a couple third rounders, but he has very few to no first rounders that he hit with.
Right,
so at this
right.
point, it's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna allow you to do what you do best. Pick in the later rounds, buddy. I'm gonna get
Roquan
you
was a first, right? Roquan was a first. That's it.
He picked all I know
because he gave away so many of them for Mitch.
Yeah, he picked some good. He picked 2 Pro Bowlers outside of the first round. That's all I know. That's all I remember.
Absolutely. Yeah, right? I don't take away. I don't take away from his late round work, but I'm just thinking first round wise. I mean, I think I want to say Roquan. I know Roquan's a first, but I don't think he's had another hit outside of that.
And picks right now are so up in the air anyway, right? And so you got to think about it. Our 20th pick is so late. The best star QBs are going to be gone by then for the most part. Yeah, that's about it. So at this point, I'm okay with trading away
Fuller
the first.
him? I don't think Fuller is him, finisher.
I don't think Fuller is him.
I don't think Fuller is him. I think Fuller was a oh Lord, I can't think. Phil Emery pick. I believe Kyle Fuller was a Phil Emery pick. Somebody fact check us on that. But yeah, to continue your point, my boy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So like with that being said, I'm good with the first rounders. I'm even good with the second round in one of those years, just because I know it's necessary. But I'm not trying to deplete more assets than necessary or what I already have, because essentially whatever he's found attractive, if we trade that away, we're no longer the same team. And for the most part, our defense, for a good portion of Matt Nagy's tenure, has kept us in these games. I mean, when we went 12-4, it was really because of our defense.
I think the interesting thing to me, and we're not really to switch gears, kind of keeping on that, the question comes down to what is the most important piece that the Bears need moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Because we can think this year. Let's be real. We're talking about this season. We're talking about trying to be competitive this year, this season, right now. That's what we're talking about. By the way, if you in here, like the video, subscribe to the page. We talk Chicago sports. We got to switch it up. Yelling daily just don't sound right to me. But we really talk Chicago sports daily. So y'all tune in with us. Yelling weekly just sound better.
Yeah, 14 was Emery.
14 was Emery. Okay. Appreciate that. To me, it's about what do the Chicago Bears really need? So is the quarterback position the most important position that you need? Absolutely. But if you can't protect said quarterback, are we right back in the quarterback hell that we've been in since when were the Chicago Bears founded? Like honestly, are we right back in the quarterback hell that we've been in? If we're not able now with Russ, it looks different. And think about the quarterbacks we're talking about: Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, 2 guys that had career years with terribleness.
Yeah.
And that's really why we talk about them, really why we kind of put them in this. But they're also, remember this, Bears fans, not on the trade block.
Right.
I've never seen a football team say, I don't answer numbers I don't know. The Houston Texans literally, I don't answer numbers I don't know, dog. You know what I'm saying? What?
Right,
what?
Listen, whether the QB is the position we have to go after because one, we know Mitch ain't coming back. If at this point the hate that he's gotten, he wouldn't come back, and the reports are he wouldn't resign, right? Yeah. And so there's just as many reports that say that as there are that says he would. Nick Foles at this point, I don't know really what's going on with that situation. I know he's there, but I don't believe that they're going to ride with that, and I don't think the fans will be happy with that. And I think right now Ryan Pace and Matt are under the gun, and they say, hey, we not only have to save our jobs, we have to make sure we secure the fan base as well, because we're definitely losing on both edges right there. So I think that regardless, they have to make a move at the QB spot. It may not be the move they want to make. We may be forced to take a lower tier QB than the ones that we have, supposedly thrown out there.
I think that's the situation we're heading towards.
Hey, I think so too, to be honest with you. And realistically, some of the QBs that I would have, settled for, some of them are going to get snagged up in the next week. Some reports have. Some of them might retire. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick, I know everyone doesn't like Fitzmagic, but I like Fitzmagic. He's planning retirement, potentially.
You know where we ending with. I already said his name on the show.
Oh, no.
Come on now.
No.
That man's nickname is the Jockstrap King.
No.
You already know.
No.
But be honest with me. If you're going to take a flyer on a guy, because we keep hearing the Bears attached to Sam Darnold. We keep hearing the Bears attached to who's the other guy? We heard Fitzy a little bit, not really. Fitzy said he getting up out of here. We heard Alex Smith. We heard Alex Smith heavy. Alex Smith heavy, right? If you're going to take a flyer, where would you want your flyer to be taken? To me, now I know. Look, I watched the tape from last year. Bad. But also, I watched two teams legitimately tank, which is something I don't think I've ever seen in the NFL. I watched a coach literally call plays that he knew were going to fail. That he knew was going to fail.
I've never seen that either.
I've never seen it. Last year was the first year. Let us know in the chat. Last year was the first year I've ever seen in my life a team legitimately tank like it was an NBA team.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. We saw the Jets call a cover zero. And kid, I know you just now delving into the football. Cover zero is essentially. It was a. I know it was a blitz. I don't remember the blitz package they used, but I know that it was a cover zero. Cover zero essentially means no safety help up top. It's your cornerbacks one-on-one. The Jets was like, hey, yo, we about to win this game. That's not going to work for us. I've never seen that in my life in the NFL. Teams just go out there and they legitimately try to win. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised the linebacker didn't go out there and be like, absolutely not. Y'all play back. Don't listen to this. Wow. Y'all play. I'm legit, because we see that in football all the time. But because the players don't want to lose. The players just don't want to lose. But to me, when you look at the pieces that are out there, what's really gonna help this team improve? Is it a quarterback this season, or is it continuing to build up your team, build up your line, build up your offense, and then going to find a quarterback in the draft? Your thoughts?
The locker room has been lost at the QB position. And if your QB doesn't care, your team isn't going to develop. We saw that. We've been through that.
Don't care though.
We oftentimes have these conversations omitting the fact that they're human. You know, Like these are people who see their names in the trade talk, see how their organization is handling things, knowing that their organization is actively trying to make different moves. I mean, you got to think about it. Look at how what Carolina is doing, how that's affecting Terry Bridgewater. You heard reports that he's not trying to stick around for that.
Bridgewater.
Say what?
I said, or Teddy Bridgewater.
I said Teddy.
Oh, I thought you said Terry Bridgewater. I heard Terry.
No, listen, if I did, my fault. Anyway, but like, listen, like they're making legitimate moves to go after, Watson and stuff like that, as they should if they have the opportunity to. Because I mean, they really do have the best packages to put together for him, in my opinion. But how does that affect them? You already see how those grumblings work. You already saw how that's working, at other organizations. Do you think it's not going to affect us? Like, listen, Mitch ain't coming back. Mitch is not going to do that. So listen, you have to have security at that position, and we really don't. We've destroyed that because we've made. Well, listen, not we. Ryan made some mistakes.
Yeah,
Ryan made some mistakes. Let's be honest. Ryan made some mistakes, and then he drafted Mitch. Mitch didn't really develop well, and Matt Nagy didn't do a good job developing him. And at this point, listen, we're in that position where we're under the gun to actually get someone, either to bridge until we find the next one, or we draft. So honestly, the reason they're all in right now for a QB is because we have to be. We don't need to be all in on the defense. We can develop our O-line. Yeah. We can. We don't need first rounders to do that. It would be nice. It would be great. It would be great. I'm not saying.
I would have to look at the data. I'm gonna be real with you because I don't know what the data is on offensive linemen outside of the first round. That's kind of a premier position where it almost like a quarterback. Like if you think about the quarterback position, if you have any sort of talent at the quarterback position, not Baker, who was before Baker, he just threw a touchdown to Josh Smith in a league that's essentially just like we drink beer at halftime. Johnny Manziel. I could have watched Johnny in college and told you that he's not an NFL quarterback. It would have thoroughly surprised me if he ended up being an NFL quarterback. But because somebody looked at him and said, you know what, he won a lot of games in college, whether it's because of the system or whether it's because of whatever else it is, we need to go after him and take him in the first round. Shout out to Marcus Couch, man. These are the kind of fans I love. That man said, I'm not even a Bears fan. I'm just here to throw a light. I appreciate it, Marcus. And we got to get Marcus when we call one of these Bulls games, man, because Marcus be cracking me up in the Bulls on the Bulls talk, bro. That man come through wild.
Now I do have a quick stat. Listen,
go ahead.
Take that back. Over the last 10 drafts, 60 offensive linemen have been selected in the first round. That's a lot.
and look. I would have to go through the names.
40 guards. 40 tackles, 12 guards, and 8 centers.
Right. I would have to go through the names, but I would bet you said over 10 years?
Over the last 10 drafts. Hey, I gotta take that one back. So that means it's six that they're the highest taken in the first round in the last 10 drafts.
But I'll say this. You think 60 over 10 years. So what's that? 6 a year.
First round. Years.
There's 32 picks. 6 are taken a year. Maybe 2 pan out. So that's kind of what I'm saying there. Now, again, the later rounds, I don't have the data in front of me. That might be something I research just on my own, just to see. But when you think about that moving forward, if you're in those later rounds, there's not going to be a lot of lock-in talent that's going to be there in the second and the third round. There's going to be those guys that Ryan Pace takes that, look, we're sitting here like, who is John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt from Nowheresville State? Who is that? But sometimes those guys pan out. Sam Mustipher seems like he's a starting lineman in this NFL to take from a tweet that was that Jeremy Layton put out talking about Eddie Goldman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like starting. But
okay, yeah, all right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I just pulled up another stat. It's like,
go
okay,
ahead.
I got you. No, it said all pro rates among the first round draft picks gave this 27-year sample. Linebacker 26%.
Mm-hmm.
At 87 drafted, 23 were all pros.
That's just at the linebacker position?
Just at the linebacker position.
Okay. So not the offensive
So yeah,
line.
I gotta put my foot on my mouth on that. What I'm gonna say is yeah, I take that back. But anyway.
But again, it comes down to how good is Ryan Pace gonna be in the later rounds? How good is Ryan Pace gonna be at going to get oh wow. What did he say? I haven't been a Bears fan since Grossman. Wow, and he took you to a Super Bowl.
Bro.
Ish. Hey look. Ish.
Yeah. I think he was either dating or engaged at the time, but she was a teacher of mine.
Really?
Yes, she was a teacher of mine.
Hold on. You can't hide this story from the pod, my chi. Hold on. You can't leave this off of the show. Wait a minute. So let's get into this.
I can't. For her sake, I'm not going to mention her name, but we knew who she was talking about because she couldn't say his name. She was just like, "Yeah, the city isn't really feeling him right now." That's exactly how she said it. Because we found out she was in either dating or engaged. I think she had recently got engaged.
Yeah.
Privately, and she was like, "Yeah, no, the city isn't really feeling him right now. It's been a really, really tough road for us the last couple weeks since the Super Bowl." And I was like, "Since the Super Bowl?" I was like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute." I looked her dead in the face. I said, "It isn't." She goes, "This." I was like, "Oh my God." It's like, and all she did was turn away. She just turned around and walked away. And I promise you,
I respect you as a man, because after that Super Bowl, I would have looked her in her face and been like, "Hey, yo, she marrying Rex. That man."
To be honest, I don't know if they ever followed through. I don't know if it happened. But I know that she was seriously involved with him. And it was like, because I'd seen photos of him before, but I wasn't into football at the time. But once I realized who it was and why everybody's burning the jersey, I was like, yo. And she was just so embarrassed. And when I tell you that she turned the brightest of red, my boy. I'm like, listen. But shout out to her. I ain't gonna put her out there. I'm not. She was a cool teacher, though.
I mean, listen. If she married to him, look, he's been to as many NFC championships as actually, let me take that back. He's won as many NFC championships as Aaron Rodgers, as Drew Brees, and now let's add Tom Brady in there. So put some respect on Rex's name.
Wait, how did you randomly pull up that stat? Like, where did that come from?
My dad is an encyclopedia, and so I just get stuff. This is how I live my life. I've literally had mugs call me up and be like, "So I really enjoy your show. Where'd you go to school for this?" And I'm like, "Home." When your dad is pulling up stats about the 1965 Mets team, you better figure it out.
Because I can.
It's tough to win. It's tough to win an argument when you got that sitting over there.
Because I can pull it up, I can tell you this: not her.
Oh wow! Oh, so it didn't work out. So now can we out the name?
So hopefully, hey, listen. I will say this: maybe I got it wrong. Hopefully, because then that puts a whole different spin on this right now when I look at the dates. But I'm pretty sure
he lost the Super Bowl and lost his girl. He still ain't got a ring.
Dog, listen, whatever. I'm not gonna go that route. Anyway, we about to go. Listen, I'm not. I have no reason to sit there and make up a Rex Grossman story. All I'm letting you know right now is I know what I know. Like, I know what I was told by somebody who wouldn't want to lie about that. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Like, if you want to lie about that, shame on her. Hey, no, please, no. Hey, anyway, moving the heck on. I have never looked at it.
Hilarious.
Okay. Anyway,
that is hilarious. That breaking news. We got to get a. Hey, listen.
We are not breaking any news. You didn't hear that here. We are not breaking that news. Listen. All I'm trying to say is this.
Hey, look. Here's the thing. Breaking news. Rex Grossman did not get a ring that year.
Oh, he got a ring. I guess it was the year before. I don't know what's happening right now, but the date I saw versus the date in when all this happened ain't lining up. And all I'm saying is, I ain't in that story. All right, listen, this didn't happen here. We're gonna move on. And so, yes, there you go, Marcus. Full guy code effect right there. We're about to move the on and talk about some bulls because guess what? This is some bull crap right here.
Well, let's finish up. Let's put a cap on the Bears conversation real quick, and then we absolutely gonna get into this Bulls talk. Just kind of previewing the game tomorrow.
Man, but out here violating God codes and stuff. I can't believe.
Look. I didn't bring it up, but I'm definitely gonna press you on it when you bring the story up. So what would you say is the position? And let us know into the chat. What would you say is the position that the Bears need most, just like Rex Grossman needed? What is the position that the Bears need most going into this season? Is it, and I'm not saying to save Matt Nagy's job, to save Ryan Pace's job, because as I've said, let me get Bear Downs in the chat. We'll be Bears fans long. We were Bears fans long before they got here. We'll be Bears fans long after. So what is the position that you believe the Bears need most moving forward with the idea in mind that this defense is aging?
New GM.
I said new ownership.
Yo, I love it.
Hey, new ownership is the one. Hey, now we got everybody in there. I get second ownership.
Yo,
I get second ownership.
Hey, listen. I second ownership. I second coach. I second GM because I realize that my job. I know I might sound like I'm backtracking.
Yeah.
But I realized that I've defended Ryan Pace so hard against the firing because I know we can only fire one at a time. So I'm like, I fire Nagy, right? But realistically, the only reason we're in this situation where we have to bet half the team to get somebody is because of Ryan Pace. So look, shut up. All right, I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't trying to hear that. So with that being the case, I will co-sign that we need new ownership and leadership. But anyway, I at this point it's
Damian adding a different wrinkle though. New president.
I'm still going new QB though. We have to. They have to show that they at least tried.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if we go into this next season with Nick Foles,
so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Serious question. And I know we're gonna get the Bulls too. If it comes out end of the season or end of the offseason, we get to the draft, we don't get Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, but you find out that Ryan Pace offered Khalil Mack, Cody Whitehair, and the picks that I laid out. Would you be upset that we didn't get the job done?
No. I can't be. We can only present what we can present. Like you can't force a team to say yes. Right? It has to be in their best interest as well. It also has to make sense financially for him. I can't say that. The fact that he was willing to do it lets me know that he swung for the fence and trying to clean up some stuff. I can respect the man from trying to basically fix his mistake. I really can.
Right.
I really can. But when you ignore it though, that's when it's like, when you take the I don't want to use Bill in this sense, but like when you take the Belichick approach, like, hey, well,
the Belichickian approach.
Yeah, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, I really can't. But to know that he put it on the line, it was like, yo, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get this team over the hump and to the 21st century as far as our QB is concerned, because we haven't had a really good QB in a very long time.
Yeah,
I can't deny that. So
I would agree with you. I would agree with you because you have to. You can only offer, not even that you can only offer so much, but you can only put something out there. They don't have to take it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the thing look, Pace is probably on the phone every day.
I'm pretty sure he is.
He's probably sitting here at this point, just like, hey, you guys want to go out to dinner later? We could meet over a Zoom conference, and me and Matt could. Oh, you don't want Matt there? Alrighty, well, I could come over, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he's probably calling every day to try and get something done. But at the end of the day, how many times do we have to say he's not on the block? The Seahawks have said not even that he's not on the block, because there's a difference. Deshaun Watson's not on the block, but Deshaun has requested a trade. Russell Wilson has not requested a trade. Russell Wilson essentially did the equivalent of, you got a bad girlfriend, but she acting like she too bad for you, so you go out and you just talk to somebody. You don't do nothing with them, but you talk to them just to let her know, hey, yo, I got options. I got options, shorty. Don't play with me.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, that's what he did over there.
I mean, Russ could be taking the same approach that Dak did, trying to just play hardball to get his, not really demands, but really just the respect and feedback that he wants. And essentially, I think that's what it is, because, I mean, while we were in on potentially getting Dak because we thought that was going to end, deep in our hearts, we knew that Dak wasn't going anywhere. Dallas was going to be the team. I honestly never thought he was going to go anywhere. I'm going to be honest with you. I flirted with the idea just because obviously it's what we do. We have to speak on it. But come on now. The only team that was going to really give him the money he was looking for is Jerry.
Yeah.
That was right. And so at this point, the only team that's
Jerry got a lot of problems, but writing checks ain't one of them.
And that's how he keeps. It's a reason he keep cutting them checks, though. People think he's stupid. No, it's a reason he keep cutting them checks. That man gets paid by cutting them checks. Trust me. But in the only situation I see working out for Russ is staying in Seattle. If we're being honest, it's the only thing that makes sense. He has too much going on there, right? Unless he's just that disgruntled with Pete Carroll. And so if that's the case, then obviously, yeah. But we'll see. I honestly feel like we're going to get a lower tier QB. I really do.
Now, I want to get his shout out to, he probably not in here, Chris Rosenthal, which that sounds like an ESPN name, but I don't remember. I don't think it is. But he left this comment on my last video about what's next for the Bears. Check that out after you get off of here if you haven't done so already. Trade Robinson to Baltimore for Orlando Brown. Lamar needs a top guy. Now, he went on to kind of detail what we could trade away to get Wilson into the building as well. But Orlando Brown, a guy who wanted to play left tackle, who essentially said, trade me because you're not going to play me at left tackle. Now, again, another guy who Baltimore was literally just like, we're not trading you. We don't have to trade you. We're not trading you. But he is a guy who wants to play left tackle, who could solidify your offensive line issues. And I mean, because you think you're getting Cody White here, you're getting James Daniels back. You add him into the mix, Orlando Brown Jr. You kind of got something with Sam Mustipher. Maybe there's something there that you like. Your offensive line could be solidified. Now, does that mean that your quarterback position is fixed? No, but if your quarterback position is fixed, what does it matter that you have Allen Robinson? Isn't fixed, I should say.
Nick Foles with a good O-line is making the playoffs.
Nick Foles with a good O-line is a better quarterback. I agree with you.
So
Muggs want to say Nick Foles sucks. I'm like, Nick Foles is definitely not the quarterback I want running my team. But with a better O-line and
he can throw dots. He can throw dots. He just ain't mobile.
It's age though too. It's like he can throw dots, but they 6-yard dots.
I saw him throw some nice 12-yarders. Like he got he can get it done. Sizzle, what's good? Like listen, he can get it done. So like I said, a good O-line. Like Matt Nagy said it. Matt Nagy, you son of a gun. Here we go. The fact, man, listen, we got to talk, Matt. Yeah, a good O-line would make make him look good. I'm not saying he's gonna be all pro. I'm not gonna say he's gonna do all, but yeah, it's gonna be better. And you know what? He and Nagy have that chemistry still, so they could sort some things out if he has a little more time in the pocket. But don't expect that man to run because he's not running. Okay? Bro, he's not running to save his
ugly.
life. It's ugly.
I'm gonna be real with you. Maybe it's because
it's also why I don't want Alex Smith either. Well, but that's a different story.
No, I see this thing. Alex Smith can run. I don't want to see him. No. I don't want Alex Smith for one reason. If he get hit, every time Alex Smith get hit, I just my God.
Yeah, you cringe.
Oh my God. Get up. Okay, he's up. Oh no, he got hit again. Oh my, every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a season of that. Hey. I do not want a season of that. But if you're going to have a bridge guy, Alex Smith, not bad if you can get him in here on a little money. I'm not going to lie. If he's teaching somebody, if he's making it, but bro, please don't. Please don't.
All I'm saying is Jameis Winston ain't been signed yet. I'm still going for Jameis Winston. I don't care what nobody say. I'm standing 10 toes down on the fact that Jameis could get a job.
Jameis Winston with Nick Foles behind him, helping him understand the position and move forward after a season of Drew Brees.
I'm not mad at it. And eye surgery.
I'm not mad at it.
Being behind Drew Brees, and the last time he had a full season, threw nearly 5,000 yards. No, he didn't throw nearly. He threw 5,000 yards. Yeah. You better move on. Hey, listen.
Hey, look. We do got to talk. I like how Muggs do that and be like, I understand he threw 33 interceptions, but we're not talking about that. And it's like,
it's really 30 interceptions and 33 TDs.
My bad, I flipped it. But still, we got
to you got to put respect on his name. That's all.
Hey, look, but we got to talk about that. you can't skim over that. We got to talk about that.
Hey, listen. Mitch had the chance to go 33 longer,
but listen, this is YouTube, so we can keep going for about 5-10 minutes. So I ain't worried about it.
Mitch had a chance to throw 33 TDs. He didn't get it done. He definitely almost threw 30 picks though if we let him. So,
bro,
that's what I'm not trying to hear.
Let's be real. Mitch's numbers are wild because when you go back and look at his actual tape, the amount of interceptions that people literally just dropped is wild. It's wild. Like, you legitimately got to be like, yo, he could have thrown 3 picks in this game alone. And Muggs always be like, well, great quarterbacks throw picks too, or they make plays that fall out of people's hands. Yeah, they do. But you know what they offset that with? 40 interceptions or 40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So very different. Very different. Very.
You know what? I kind of figured we was gonna go longer than an hour, because we finally get into the Bulls at this point,
right? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, let's
get into a little bit of Bulls talk before we get out of here. Just previewing this game in Philly, like we said, game of the week is Friday, because y'all know Stefan the Don, Miami Heat fan. We got to give him a little bit. Plus, there's the Jimmy Butler versus Zach LaVine connection, but. Bulls are playing Philly tomorrow. Philly still dealing with the COVID issues, which is wild because Joel Embiid was tweeting during the entire All-Star game talking about what the man said. He said, all I see out there is fresh fades, but I'm the one to get COVID-19. I was dead, bro. Dog, I was dead, and he doesn't have it. He's being facetious. He essentially they picked him and Ben Simmons off for contact tracing, due to the fact that their barber ended up testing positive. So you're going into a Bulls game where, listen, last time you played Embiid, 50, and I don't think Wendell is stopping that. But thank God we got Bulls basketball back. But what do you see for this Bulls game tomorrow versus the Philadelphia 76ers?
First off, I know we ain't going to jump all the way into, Bulls, and we're trying to ride out. But check this out. Just dropped a video on what I think the Bulls should be doing, because I honestly think we should be players. Listen, I think we should be taking the Bears approach. I have my own reasons for it. I know that we feel good that we are actually somewhat sniffing a playoff role, but guess what? It's a lot of stuff fell into place for us to be in this position.
Y'all can check that video out on the community tab as well.
A lot of stuff fell into place for us to be in a position to be middle of the road still. So that's all I got to say in regards to that. Y'all go check that out. What do I got? I mean, obviously, I got a Chicago dub if they don't have two of their star players. I got a Chicago dub. We listen without Embiid, without Ben, Tobias. Yeah, I think we got that one. I got that. That whole offense revolves around those two. So at this point, I'm good with that. If Tobias can drop 50, Matt, guess what? I don't think he will. Call J. Cole up. I don't care what you want to do, but Tobias doesn't. Tobias doesn't scare me to say, "Oh yeah, Tobias is getting 50." If Tobias gets 50, you know what that means? That means a lot of other people didn't touch the ball. I'm just not.
Tobias ain't getting 50 on the man P. Will. Let's not disrespect P. Will like that. Tobias
Tobias was taking P. Will to school though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Tobias was taking a rook to school last time they played.
Last game. Was P. Will on him?
P. Will was on him and took it personal. And
I took it personally.
You put a rookie on me? It was like 3 possessions, and I called it. I was like, yeah, he about to make this a game, and took it right at the rook and got buckets. And I was like, okay, all right, can't this J. Cole like that. But no, I expect if we're healthy, we're gonna have a
he told the rook, you ain't never been here before, no.
It's after I see you. It is after the All-Star game is so Lauri Markkanen is actually returning.
Is that confirmed yet? I know I heard Lauri's supposed to be back. P. Will is also supposed to be, or not P. Will, I'm sorry. Otto Porter is also supposed to be back. But I haven't seen a confirmed message on that. Go ahead.
You mean the expensive bench player is supposed to be back?
I'm glad you said bench. Because I was like, he's 6'7". Look, if he pull up on you, I can't help too much. But yes, in a sense, yes. I want to see this here. Hold on. P. Will. Ooh, hey, look, hold on. Last time they played, because I did want to pull this up as well. Tobias Harris, 22, 12, and 7. And P. Will played 31 minutes.
My man was cooking him. I ain't gonna lie to you. My man was cooking him. I saw
you ain't never been here before, no.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, I'm happy Lauri's back because he's back just enough to go ahead, put up some stats so we can trade him.
So let me ask you this. I heard a Matt Nagy, what are you talking about, dog? I heard for everybody that's listening on audio. By the way, if you didn't catch the whole thing, we do post this on iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff. I think we on Audible too. Audible, we on there as well. Breaking: Luke Cornett personal issues involved getting jumped at 63rd after going 3 or 4 from the 3 against the Nuggets. Hey, yo, that's not facts, but that's funny. That's funny. This was a shot or no shot on the show, Cap and J Hood on ESPN 1000. Y'all check it out. Shot or no shot, the Bulls are better without Lauri Markkanen. Essentially, let's bring it to our show. Cap or no cap? The Bulls are better without Lauri Markkanen. They've definitely won more games without him in the lineup.
For them to have won more games and still have a losing record, I'm going to say cap. We still have a losing record. We're still under 500.
We started the season mad ugly, though. Mad ugly. Like, we started the season getting... Hey, look. Remember them early lives, bro.
Yeah.
We wasn't sitting here calling Zach LaVine last-second shots. We were sitting here like, true. What are we going to talk about for the next half of basketball? Because we down 30.
Hey, listen, Lauri is a guarantee. At this point, he's a guaranteed 18 points on a semi-consistent basis.
Facts.
That's what the stats show.
I would say 18 is a minimum. I would say that. I would agree with that.
So, I say it's cap. I just honestly think that Billy had a chance to get the team in gear. And Lauri, kind of missed that being injured for the last 2 to 4 weeks because that's really when we were already picking up our stride. But let's not forget, my man had some nice back-to-back 30-point games and was doing some things and was actually showing some growth. I like his progression and his potential more than I like Wendell's, and so I'm in on Lauri, like Lauri, however you pronounce it. I'm in on him.
I'm with you.
I'm in on him because he could do more for me.
I'll ask this, and then we are gonna wrap up, y'all. And I agree with you. I want you to know I agree with you because Lauri is if nothing else, he's 20-4, 20-5. 20-5.
He's 20-7
this season. 20-7.
I think so. Hold on, let me check. But go ahead, ask your question. I'll pull it up.
My question to you is Wendell out of position so much that it's causing him to not play up to his potential? Because the thing that I have looked into is how does Wendell play against undersized centers, like you would kind of count him as himself, being a 6'10" center, not really undersized, and those are Wendell's better games. So is he so far out of position that we're missing the value that could be him? Granted, both players are mad injury prone.
I'm gonna answer your question about Lauri real quick. 19-6 at 51% shooting from the field.
And
listen, that 51% means a lot because he shoots from the three. He has an inside out game, so it's like, for the developing inside out game. Wendell doesn't stretch the floor like that. But I can't say do it. To answer your question, Wendell is out of position though. He's not a 5. He's not a 5 at all.
The wingspan doesn't add anything to that. Because I want much to understand. 6'10", 270, 7'6" wingspan. 7'6". Dog, think about how he's got Yao Ming's body as his wingspan. And he gave us a game with 4 rebounds.
Yeah. Yeah. And really, it's crazy because he's only averaging 7. Let's give him 8. I hate when they do the 7.8 rebounds. But he's averaging 8 rebounds a game. That's 2 more than Lauri.
Wendell is or Lauri?
Wendell. That's 2 more than Lauri.
Really?
So, hey, listen.
How many offensive?
I have to get that stat for you. Hold on.
Because that surprises me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
This season, offensively, 2.
Okay.
Defensively, 6. Rounding up.
Okay. 8 rebounds a game. I'm gonna be
last
real
season he was averaging 9.4.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'd have never thought that. I'm gonna be real. I never would have thought that based on the eye test. I never would have thought that.
The reason why I don't get so excited about those type of stats anymore, like at least rebounds is concerned, is just because we have more possessions now because the game is faster. And so if the game is faster, you have more possession, you have more opportunity to get a rebound. That's actually been broken down scientifically by a couple of people on YouTube. Y'all go check their channel out. I find the link somewhere and post it in the comments. Like I'm a numbers guy, so I fan out over stuff like that. Like there's a reason why numbers are inflated right now. And they really are inflated. We have more possessions. The average shot is a 3-point shot, which means that you have now more people taking threes, more people practicing threes, more people hitting threes at a higher clip, which means that they're scoring more points, which means that points per game is going up.
Right.
Stuff like scoring leaders is going up. We have more people over 20 points per game than we ever had before in the league. And we're not just talking about all-stars. We're talking about some like listen, Lauri is averaging nearly 20 points a game. True. By the way we talk about him, you'd be like, yeah, but he's averaging nearly 20 points a game.
Facts.
So, I mean, it just goes to show you how the game has changed. So, but his impact, the impact he has on the game, as far as going back to Wendell, we don't feel his imprint on the game as much as we do like a Joel, like a Vucevic. Hey, I'm struggling with that one. Sabonis, I think Sabonis is kind of undersized. I think they're about the same size. Like, we don't feel his fingerprints on it. Christian Wood makes himself known. Jeremy Grant right now is even balling, and I think he's a 4, 3 or 4.
Bro,
Jeremy Grant is sleeping.
MIP. Do me a favor. Do me a favor, Mr. Numbers, before we get up out of here. And we appreciate y'all for sticking with us, staying tuned with us. Do me a favor, though. I want you to look up Jeremy Grant's points per game for his career. And look at the jump this man, Jeremy Grant, has put on. This man, the Oklahoma City Thunder, Billy Donovan, did not think he was a star. The Detroit Pistons essentially brought him in to be defense and rebounding.
My man's getting buckets. So listen, he was at Denver averaging 12 points a game.
Yep.
Last season at OKC, he was doing 13 points a game.
Yep.
For his career, he was only averaging 10 points a game.
Yep.
His first year in Detroit, 33 games, nice little sample size, 23.4 points a game. Bro. And doing it at a really efficient clip, too.
Hey, look, I love Zach. Ain't no way he getting MIP.
Oh, no.
Ain't no way. What he's doing over there, that's wild.
Unfortunately,
he's wild.
Unfortunately, I hope he stays healthy. But here's the thing. Jeremy is a stretch 3. Right? He's a stretch 3. And
Jeremy's what? Jeremy's 6'10", is he not?
6'8".
6'8", okay. Yeah, essentially.
And so, honestly, this all goes back to the simple fact that, Wendell is out of position. Wendell's a great person to put alongside someone.
He ain't that, though. Hey, look. And Wendell was playing Jeremy Grant a lot in that game. Hey, when you get your career high dropped on you, now granted, we got to put Zach in there. We got to put P. Will in there. A lot of people got dropped off that game.
Yeah. I think if he doesn't win it, though, I think Christian Wood will, because Christian Wood, also coming from Detroit, averaged 13 points a game, only averaging 11 for his career, jumps up to 22 points a game, but he has a higher shooting percentage and takes less shots than Jeremy Grant.
Christian Wood going to win based off the girlfriend story he just dropped. You didn't hear that one? Did you hear that one?
No, I heard it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For those of y'all who didn't hear it, essentially, he didn't get drafted. He dropped his girlfriend off at the airport and never heard from her again.
Yeah.
Not a man's hooping. Salty. Who's more salty? Christian Wood's girlfriend or the girl or the dude that didn't date Beyonce or that broke up with Beyonce?
Christian Wood's girlfriend, because the dude that didn't date Beyonce, he probably wouldn't have made it long term anyway.
Okay.
Listen, I know what they say that Beyonce is like. That's a whole different story. But let's be honest, she's a little older than they keep saying that she is.
Yeah.
So like.
But hey, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
Or whatever, you know.
Hey, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man. Kidd, as always,
my boy,
coming with the strong content. Make sure that y'all check out the podcast on all DSPs. We're going to do a little something different this week. We're probably going to try and drop a couple videos this week. So if you got here late, if you got here for a little bit of late content, we're going to break it up a little bit so that we drop those videos throughout the week as well. Y'all stay tuned with us, man. We got a lot of stuff coming for y'all. Make sure y'all check out Kidd's video over in the community tab and on his own channel, P.Kidd. If you can't find that by just searching it on YouTube, check it out in the Windy City Breeze YouTube page. He's right at the top. He's actually the first person on the page, so shout out to him doing big special. Hey, bro. Hey. You already know how we do over here. I just added.
I'm only drinking water, but shout out to you.
Hey, look, I'm glad you're only drinking water because I'm drinking whoever's sponsoring. No, we really appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. Follow P.Kidd on Twitter, on Instagram. One P.Kidd on Twitter. P.Kidd1 on Instagram, I believe.
Hey, listen, just follow the YouTube channel. We're gonna get the rest going.
Follow everything. Follow everything. Follow your boy at Pat the Designer on all DSPs. Listen, anything else you got to drop to him, Kidd?
Man, listen, I'm actually going to be trying to get this Cub content together. I am at a loss for a couple moves that we made, but
they winning in spring training.
They winning in spring training. I don't know what's gonna happen. Listen, I'm at. It feels like 2015. Like my pop said, feel like 2015. I remember the team then. It does feel like 2015.
Yeah. Let's give a quick shout out. Shout out Mike Nice. Shout out Marcus Couch. Shout out Dark Souls. Man, you got to come up with a better name than that, brother. Probably a Twitcher though. I'm gonna check out your channel actually. Shout out Ray Ginn. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. It is your boy Pat the Designer. As always, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. You know we got content coming y'all way. Peace.